So some of you folks have been asking me some very good, valid questions about your signature assignment. So I'm going to try to clarify this as simply as possible. As far as the topic, it can be a topic that comes from your discussions in this class. It can come from the textbook, or it can be something that you simply have a passionate interest about, whether it be capital punishment, euthanasia, gun control, whether or not we should take the vaccine or not take the vaccine, whether or not we should wear masks or not. Now, this is not a paper to try to convince me in one direction or the other, but do you have the ability to look at both sides of the issue? So looking at A and looking at B, and it's fine if at the very end you say, hey, when it comes to this issue, I lean towards this area. That's fine. But for instance, last semester, one of my students wrote about gun control, and it was very, very clear that he was very passionate in just one direction. He wasn't using critical thinking. He couldn't look at both sides of the issue. Look at both sides of the issue and use valid references. This is where some of my students get in trouble. References from universities, from scientific institutions, from the United States government, .govs. Don't use blogs, okay? The World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, the American Medical Association, when it even recognized journals like Forbes Magazine or Business Insider, Time, nationally recognized newspapers, things that are valid journals, and using that APA style. Finally, how does this affect you? Even if you're discussing, well, I'm discussing capital punishment. I'm not a lawyer, so it doesn't really directly affect me. But you can discuss capital punishment and then talk about how critical thinking can help you in your professional life, perhaps even in your private life. One of my students discussed what was, I think, euthanasia. But at the end, they said, listen, regardless of the topic I just spoke about, I'm now going to discuss how critical thinking helps me. And she discussed how she didn't really use critical thinking when it came to her friendships and her relationships. She was always just so emotional about it. And now she actually critically thinks about her friendships. What are the qualifications for somebody to be her friend? Can she look at people more objectively? Can she look at her professional life more objectively? So I really want to know what you're getting out of this process, as well as talking about the topic that you chose. So the topic's up to you. I gave you some very concrete examples. Have valid references, APA style, and then finally talk about how does critical thinking help you. I hope this clarifies. Guys, have fun with this, and we'll talk soon.